everyone, welcome to part 4, the final part of our beginner's knitting series, Binding Off. So far in this series we have covered the basics of how to choose the yarn you want to use and the size needles that you want to work with. We have cast on our stitches, we have done knitting, created a garter stitch pattern, and now we are ready to complete our project. We are ready to learn how to bind off. So now that we have completed our project, we are ready to bind off. So the reason we do this, if I were to remove my needle right now from these stitches, my project would basically unravel. It would undo all the hard work we just did. So we're going to bind off. We're going to transform these live stitches into inert stitches. So this is going to look a lot like knitting. So it's going to look a lot like what we did in our last video, a lot like what you did on your garter project thus far. So we're going to knit the first stitch on our left needle, and then we're going to knit the second stitch. So we have 2 stitches on our right hand needle and 13 remaining on our left hand needle. So this is where the bind off really happens. This is where we're going to learn something new. So with our left hand needle, we're going to take the tip of our left hand needle and insert it into the second stitch on the right hand needle. So we'll do that one more time. So we just have the 2 stitches here. We're going into the second stitch. The needle goes straight into it, and you want to keep your left hand needle on top of your right hand needle. What we're going to do now is pull the remaining stitch on the right hand needle through, and then it falls off the left hand needle. So now we are down to only 1 stitch on our right hand needle and then the 13 remaining on the left hand needle. So let's try that again. We're going to knit the first stitch off our left hand needle, then I'm going to grab into the second stitch on the right hand needle, pull the first stitch through, and let it fall off the left hand needle. So let's keep going. We're going to knit and pull through. Knit and pull through. If it's a little bit easier, you can knit and pull over. So we're doing the same thing, except now your left hand needle is doing all the work. So keeping that right needle stationary, you use your left needle and just pull it over that stitch. It doesn't matter, it accomplishes the exact same thing. So if you want to pull through with your right needle or pull over with your left needle, that is up to you. That is dealer's choice. So we're coming almost to the end of our work. We now have 1 stitch on our right hand needle and only 1 stitch remaining on our left hand needle. So we're repeating the process. We're going to knit and bring it through. So now we are done. The only thing left, is to pull through. So you now have a completed project. And that is that. You have now completed the Beginner's Knitting series. Thank you so much for joining me. So really the purpose of this series was to introduce knitting as a concept to brand new knitters. So I was targeting people who had never held a pair of needles in their hands, who were really getting started. The series was very introductory. It was really just covering the basics. But I intend to keep this going. I'm going to make additional series for more advanced techniques, different tutorials for various knitting practices, and just my general take on kind of my path to where I am in knitting. I've been doing this for just over 15 years, so I'm just sharing what I know with you all. So please come back to the channel for more advanced techniques and more fun with knitting. Thanks, guys.